This is drone encirclement. Drones can keep a vital road under constant attack, stopping supplies, reinforcements, and retreat. So, how do you actually encircle an enemy with or without drones? In this video we go through how to trap a force, how to destroy it inside the pocket, and how drones have changed the tactic. When most people imagine an encirclement, they picture soldiers forming a complete circle around the enemy and slowly closing in. In reality, you first look for a weakness that gives you access to their rear. The enemy may have most of its troops and heavier weapons facing forward, while one flank is held by fewer, weaker or exhausted soldiers. Behind them, there may be only a small reserve, with little support available if that flank is attacked. You then look at the routes connecting the position to friendly forces. A unit may depend on one road or track for ammunition, reinforcements, casualty evacuation, and withdrawal. If you can break through the weaker flank and reach that route, you can isolate that entire position without placing troops around every side. But the weakness has to be exploitable. If support can arrive quickly or enough troops are held behind the line, the defenders may block the movement before you reach the rear. The best opportunity appears when a strong front is supported by a weak flank, a small reserve, and only one or two routes behind it. Finding a weak flank means very little if the enemy can simply pull back before you reach the road behind them. You need to keep most of their force occupied at the front. A fixing attack applies enough pressure to hold their attention and stop them from moving troops elsewhere. Infantry can advance against the main position, while heavier weapons suppress any attempt to leave it. The defenders now face a difficult choice. If they stay in place, the flanking force continues moving behind them. If they turn to face the flank, the fixing force can push forward and take the position. The reserve becomes especially important here. If it moves forward to strengthen the front, the flank remains exposed. If it moves sideways to stop the breakthrough, the front becomes weaker. This forces the enemy to react to two threats at once, while your flanking force only needs enough time to reach the route behind them. Once your flanking force reaches the road, it enters the most dangerous part of the attack. Support is still catching up, and the enemy now understands exactly what is happening. The first soldiers move onto the route and begin blocking it. A damaged vehicle can be pushed across the road. Fallen trees, rubble, or anything heavy enough to stop a truck can be dragged into place, while wire can funnel infantry. The goal is to force every vehicle to slow down, with anything you have available. That delay gives the group time to fire. The rest of the force spreads into nearby cover, with its heavier weapons covering the roadblock and the approaches around it. One part faces toward the trapped position, while another watches the road leading in from outside. You then report that the exit has been cut, give your position, and call for reinforcements. Until they arrive, the roadblock may have to hold alone. The trapped defenders will try to clear the obstacle and fight their way out. At the same time, enemy reinforcements may already be moving toward the same road to reopen it from outside. The position now has to survive attacks from both directions. The obstacle creates time. The troops covering it have to use that time to keep the route closed. If the roadblock breaks, the enemy can clear the route and escape. If it holds long enough for support to arrive, more troops can reinforce the roadblock, cover the remaining gaps, and seal the enemy force inside. Just quickly, the first page of the Terrain Defense Field Guide is free on our website. The full multi-page guide covers 6 terrain types with diagrams, overviews, and historical examples. You can also find separate maps and guides made for each video, including encirclement, urban combat, guerrilla warfare, and more. Or for extra scenes and bonus footage, check out my Patreon. All links are in the description. Once the escape routes are cut, your force has to defend in 2 directions. One line faces inward toward the trapped defenders. Its job is to stop them from concentrating against one weak point and breaking out. Another line faces outward toward the relief force. These troops have to protect the pocket from fresh enemy units trying to break through from outside. A small reserve stays between both sides. If the trapped force begins gathering near one section, the reserve moves there before the attack starts. If the relief force approaches from outside, it shifts in the opposite direction. The danger is spreading your troops too evenly. Some areas need strong positions because they cover roads or open approaches. Quieter gaps can be watched by patrols, snipers, or a machine gun placed far enough back to cover movement through them. You cannot make every part of the pocket equally strong. The aim is to slow any attack long enough for the reserve to arrive and stop one weak section from opening the entire encirclement. Once the pocket is secure, time begins working against the trapped force. Ammunition cannot be replaced, wounded soldiers remain inside, and damaged weapons stay out of action. Every fight leaves the defenders weaker than before. Your force still has access to fresh troops, supplies, and heavier weapons. This allows pressure to continue while a concentrated attack is prepared. Some defenders may surrender once they realize that no relief is coming. If the position still has to be cleared, attacking evenly around the perimeter would spread your strength and allow the enemy to reinforce every threatened area. You keep most of the pocket contained and concentrate your strongest weapons against one weak section. Once the defenders there are suppressed, an assault group breaches the line and secures a position inside the pocket. More troops follow through, widen the breach, and establish a blocking position between the remaining defenders. The enemy is now divided. Troops on one side cannot move across to reinforce the other, and supplies can no longer be shared between both positions. You can then contain one group while concentrating your strength against the weaker half. The process can be repeated, dividing the remaining positions until each group is too small and isolated to support the others. Once one group is defeated, the troops containing it are free to join the next attack. Your force becomes stronger at the decisive point, while the remaining defenders have fewer positions and fewer people to hold them. Each section that falls makes the next one harder to defend, until the remaining troops surrender or are overwhelmed. The drones can now isolate a position without soldiers physically blocking every route behind it. A scout drone first watches the roads and tracks leading in and out of the pocket. Once movement is detected, strike drones, loitering munitions, or artillery can hit the vehicles using them. A supply truck may be destroyed before it reaches the position. The next vehicle may be hit while trying to recover it. Wrecks then begin blocking the route, making every follow-up movement slower and more dangerous. Mine lane drones can make the problem even worse. A route that is already under observation can be seeded with mines, forcing vehicles to slow down, stop, or move onto ground that is even easier to strike. This creates a different kind of encirclement. The road may still be physically open, but if every vehicle moving along it is likely to be seen, mined, or attacked, the trapped force is being cut off all the same. The same pressure can stop reinforcements from moving in and make withdrawal far more dangerous. Supplies have to move in smaller loads, at night or on foot, which sharply reduces how much the position can actually receive. The weakness of this method is that it depends on observation and strike capacity. Jamming, bad weather, trees, or simply running short of drones can briefly reopen the route. Encirclement is a high-risk tactic, and even a small mistake can turn the entire operation against you. Trying to encircle too much creates a pocket your force cannot properly hold. As the perimeter expands, every section becomes thinner and easier to break. Choosing a target with too many escape routes creates another problem. Cutting one road achieves little if supplies and withdrawing troops can simply use another. A weak fixing attack gives the defenders freedom to react. They can pull troops away from the front and withdraw before your flanking group reaches the rear. Moving too slowly wastes the same opportunity. Clearing every trench, building, or small position gives the enemy time to recognize the danger and escape. The flanking force can also outrun its support. If ammunition and reinforcements cannot follow, the group blocking the exit may become isolated itself. Failing to reinforce the perimeter leaves the pocket fragile. The enemy can concentrate against one thin section and reopen the route before the position becomes secure. Ignoring the relief force is equally dangerous. Fresh troops attacking from outside may break through while most of your weapons remain focused on the trapped force. Attacking the pocket too soon throws away the main advantage of encirclement. Isolation is already weakening the defenders, so patience may save more troops than an immediate assault. Alright, thanks for watching. If you're interested, check out our store below for the free terrain defense guide, or if you prefer to see more footage, you can check out our Patreon.